question was, can you expand on how the water in the South has been misappropriated? Does it have anything to do with the governor's agreement with, I have no idea. It says something about, I won't even bother with that, but can you speak to that? And part of that also is Congressman Simpson's desire to eliminate dams down south. I know that's a federal issue, but can the state do anything about the removal of those dams? Ron?
Well, the dams, we did pass a resolution, and I can tell you most of the people that I polled in the state are opposed to that, but I don't think it couldn't happen. It's still a risk. On the water appropriation, what happened, there were surface water people who got their water rights over 100 years ago down in Southern Idaho, and they dug canals. Well, what happened was these canals were just dug, so a certain amount of that water would go back down into the ground, into the aquifer. There's this Eastern Snake Plain aquifer, which is huge. And they're still learning about it, and some of it's different from our aquifer. All aquifers are different. This one, so they started, when the ability to pump started later, in the 19th century, 20th century, groundwater people came on board. So they would give people irrigation rights to this groundwater. And so the water was leaching down through the ground. And so what happened is they kept giving rights. And in Idaho, it's first in time, first in right. If you're the first one to the water right, you have a well, and your neighbor goes to the well next door, and they find out that that well ruined your well, then you have priority, and they have to stop. So that's what this means. So the bottom line is, and the short answer is, the water usage was over appropriate. This goes back years ago. It's an ongoing issue. So the aquifer is on the decline. I sat in a major meeting on Monday. We had groundwater people on this side, surface water people on this side, the lieutenant governor, various people in the middle. I and then the chairman of Senate Resources were kind of in the middle, and state water people and things. And it's a miracle those people are in the same room together. This has gotten contentious. I mean, this is could end up in courts, and there could be a water call that could be really bad. But anyway, all that to say that it's over appropriated. At the end of the meeting, the lieutenant governor actually asked if they would agree, the groundwater people, that the aquifer is truly declining, and it is. That's the one thing they agreed to. There's another meeting on Monday. There'll be some other meetings. So I don't know that it's anybody's fault. It's just that everybody thought there was lots of water. In the good water years, it works. Water goes in. They're doing aquifer recharge in southeastern Idaho. And so they keep putting water in because water goes through, and depends on who uses it, where it goes, and different things. And from some of the things I've been able to glean out of this, I see there's maybe three possible things that could help. One, technology. There's technology out there that with water meters and stuff. Different irrigation districts, they every once a week they travel to irrigation districts, seeing where the water is going and checking things. If they find a problem, they could have a major leak, water going somewhere where it shouldn't have been, and it could have wasted a lot of water. Technology now, it's kind of like the meter on your the electric meter at your house, where they monitor it now from satellites. There's technology to do that, so they have real-time info if something's wrong in their system. They claim that this could save 10 to 15% of water usage, which is huge. Cloud seeding is another thing. I have to be convinced that we're still looking into this, that it's safe, that basically the things they use are a variety of things they use. I've even been told you can use sulfur that could cause, which I asked the question, wouldn't that increase the acidity of the soil? So there are different things, but that has been proven to work. The question is it safe? But it can increase from 8 to 15%, which is huge. And then there's another thing I didn't realize till a few years ago down in the Twin Falls area, but the Southern Idaho there in the Twin Falls area, we're number 2 to Wisconsin for dairy. I did not know that. So, but what that means is alfalfa is a major crop down there. Well, that's a very water-intensive crop. And so the irrigators that are planting alfalfa, they basically use a lot of water. So another possible aid to this would be to have people say take some of their crops, but that would affect the dairy industry, but some of their crops out of high water crops, go into more cereal grains, different things, so you could maximize the water around the state so other people can have it. But this is ongoing, and at this point in time, I don't think anybody can give you any kind of estimate of what's actually going to come out of this, but it could be very huge.
So I just want to add, Ron and I have been talking energy resources. We've been talking to water people about this, and the conclusion, before they started the North Idaho adjudication, they had already completed, or were just about finished completing, the Southeast Idaho, whatever it was. That was all supposed to be done. It was all supposed to be taken care of. And now we're finding that it wasn't resolved, and it has not been because of this priority system. And all the registration we did, if you remember, we registered wells and all that stuff, that was all done down there. And yet they still have misallocated the water. Now, be it drought periods or other issues within the weather, it's not resolved, and probably never will be resolved. But the one thing that has come is that this priority system that we have probably is not sufficient to address the issues. And as Ron has said, people are going to be hurt if there's not enough water, because dairies, the growers, all of them are interconnected. And if one of them starts to fall, then somebody else is going to fall. This is going to be a problem moving forward, and the state is going to do its best to manage that. But just to say that water is going to be an issue, we got to protect our rights up here, individually and corporately. And it's afternoon.